guys, welcome to an episode of Pokemon Duel. Today I'm talking about the next Gym Cup and making my predictions about what I think that will be. The reason I'm doing this is because the first day, that is the time at which, from experience, is the easiest to get the most wins and can give you a good head start, potentially get opening more boosters, potentially getting more Pokemon and give you more of an advantage in this tournament. So, my prediction, as on the thumbnail stated, is a Dragon Gym Cup or a Fairy Gym Cup, as we saw in the last one, the Fighting Gym Cup. It was basically a Psychic Gym Cup. Plus 20, they were overpowered in the Psychic region. You had, Lucario and Infernape were good fighting Pokemon, but the majority of the Pokemon were Psychic that you'd see in that tournament. And, 45 wins, you got a Psychic figure. So, what I'm doing is giving my advice on what it will be based on the experience so far. So remembering that this game is a business, it's an app that is monetized and they need to drive sales of the new figures that they have. The best way to do this is to introduce these new figures and then give a competition that makes them more powered than the other Pokemon. And we've got a history of that. Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno were introduced. Flying Gym Club, plus 1 MP, making them 3 MP, made them deadly. Saw meant they could jump past you, just like Shuppet, and with no problems, get a lot of surround, and that made battles easy to win. Now, they were all flying type, electric, fire, and ice. Where ice came from, not exactly sure. Articuno was probably the weaker of them in terms of stats, but ice came in there and can't really understand why that would have been. May have just been random. Then we had the Fighting Gym Cup. So we had the introduction of new Psychic figures. And there's a basically Psychic Gym Cup where those figures became overpowered and dominated that tournament. So based on that history, we can suggest that whatever figures are released now will have some bearing on the Gym Cup to come. So we have Zekrom and Reshiram, two really strong Dragon-type Pokemon. To drive sales into getting the people buying the boosters, the best way to do that is make them overpowered. So, down there and over there are a list of the MP boosts that they would get if they had the plus 1 MP, and also the max attack if they were given the plus 20 attack power. Now, I'm going to go start with the Fairy because this is really important to why the Fairy type will not get the plus 20 boost. Look at Gardevoir, Xerneas, Whimsicott, Ralts, Curlier. The plus 20 boost makes very little difference, and most Pokemon could probably dispatch them quite easily. Xerneas, yes, has the 140 chance if it hits Geomancy and then Moonblast, I believe it is. Now, but still only 2 Pokemon that potentially could be heavy hitters or slightly heavy hitters. Then we've got Whimsicott, Ralts, and Curlier who aren't massively buffed. 60, 50, 80. Here's where I really think the Fairy type are not going to get that plus 20 buff. Wigglytuff coming in with round at 120. If there are 3 other people on the field that have round in their abilities, that would make a Wigglytuff's attack 120, just with 3 on the field. Now, on average, people probably have 4 people on the field once the 2 are in the PC. So you're looking at 160 attack. And if you start right from the get-go and get all of them on the field without having one sent to the PC, 240 attack. The only person that could possibly match that would be somebody with a purple attack or Charizard with a lot of spins on Fire Spin. Then we have Sylveon, even stronger than Wigglytuff. With 3 on the field, would do 150 damage. With 6 people on the field that have round, 300 damage. It's just a little bit too much. And it just kind of would ruin the tournament, I think, a little bit if 2 Pokemon dominated. Just 2 Pokemon. Because it's good to have a bit of variety. I felt like the last tournament was Reuniclus and Deoxys was aimed towards them being the overpowered Pokemon, but I didn't use them and I felt I could still take them on. I still had a chance. With Wigglytuff and Sylveon in the mix, I'm not sure I would. So, Dragon type. Why do I think they get the plus 20 buff? If you take a look at those stats, the max attack that those have, it's so much more varied. You could have so much more of a diverse squad, and still have a chance at beating other people with the Dragon squad. Reshiram and Zekrom, they are going to be very, very powerful and ones to watch out for with that plus 20 AP buff, with that ability to knock you out of the duel. Remembering that would be the weaker attack though, but with the card Overdrive, they get that plus 30 attack. They'd be very dangerous. Latios and Latias, I only have a Latios, but that's such a strong Pokemon, and with that 3MP, not affected by a 3MP boost. Garchomp, Giratina, Zygarde, Rayquaza, all really heavy hitters. Palkia, Dialga, still again heavy hitters. And then you got the rare type still coming in with a good powerful attack, 80 to 90. And with a MP boost though, if they did just get that, it would be very good though. If they didn't get the attack boost, there'd be a lot of variety still within that. Because Reshiram and Zekrom going to 3, Garchomp, some of the 1, Giratina, Zygarde and Rayquaza, them moving at 2 MP would be really dangerous. So, my belief is that it will be based on this. Dragon, attack plus 20, Fairy, because some of the fairy figures have been introduced, Whimsicott, and the fact that we've got this orange booster time limited event where these are popping out increased chances of fairy just indicates there's something in the air about fairies and they might be involved. Dragons, 100% I think. Fairies, I'd probably say I'm about 75% sure about this, but there could be another type. We could get an electric. If there is another type instead of fairy, like electric or fire, I'd hope that it is one that's not doesn't give Reshiram or Zekrom an advantage, so that would eliminate fire and electric. So maybe something like water would be really exciting to see. So if this does happen though, let's prepare for it. If fairy do get the plus 20 buff, luckily, I kind of hope they do a little bit because I'm prepared for that. This is the squad you want. 3 Sylveon, 3 Wigglytuff. Do I need to say any more? Look at the max attack. They are going to kill. Absolutely kill. Destroy anybody on the field with that. You're going to have a whole field of purple attacks to potentially take them on. So, that's basically it for the fairy squad. You might throw Xerneas or Gardevoir in there if you don't. If you're not going to have that many the 3 Wigglytuff, 3 Sylveon. Kirlia is great. Gardevoir, Xerneas, still great Pokemon to put in their place. So what would I do if it is the Dragon deck? For me, would have a bit of a... I've got a lot of good Dragon Pokemon. 3 Rayquaza, crazy drops during the last tournament. I pulled a Zygarde during the live event. Thanks you guys for pushing me to go buy some boosters for that. But I hate 1MP Pokemon. If you know me, I don't like 1MP Pokemon. I find they prevent you the ability to get surrounds, and they are the things that do make a big difference in a match. They mean that you can get back to defend your goal quickly. So for me, although I've highlighted them as a deck, there might be other Pokemon that I would put in that just aren't Dragon type or Fairy type, that are just stronger. And Latios, although I love him and he's so strong, he can be a liability if the match goes a long way. So, let's look at the heavy hitters and who I would put. My dream squad from the Dragon Material Exchange. So, obviously, if you've got them, Reshiram and Zekrom, they would be the ones. They take place 1 and 2. You don't want 3, 4, because then you've got a squad of 4 having to wait 9. And if the 2 people die, you could end up having giving the other team a weight win. So, heavy hitters in the Dragon category, I would be rocking Reshiram, Zekrom, probably Latios, just for that 3MP to get the advantage. Zygarde for sure, that new Land's Energy with the card Land's Energy could be so deadly. Then I'd probably be looking for two MPs, or 1 3MP and another, and that would probably consist of potentially using a speed boost. I don't actually have one, but that would be the dream, and potentially attack form Deoxys. More likely though, I'd put Zapdos. You know, he's my boy. He goes through all tournaments and he's got that soar ability to jump over. So Dream Squad would be Reshiram, Zekrom, Latios, Zygarde, Rayquaza, and Zapdos. Maybe Speed Form instead of Rayquaza. I don't know. But if you've got that squad, well done and good luck to you in the tournament. I hope this has helped you guys, and I hope it gives you that heads up if this tournament does come up. Okay, that's all from me. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. See you next time.